Sure, guys, how are you? Yeah, well. So, yes? Is it? I'm not. It's not gonna hear me.
Yeah.
Are you hearing me, guys? It's fine. So you just have to like.
Yeah, you need to. Now you're not in.
Where's Julie?
She said conference.
She said she's going to be at the conference. Sit your bum there. Put my bum there. Bum location.
Yeah.
Sure. So we have to be.
Like, you should have like video, ne? Like, okay, the video.
So that's kids.
Fine.
This is all in the video. Excuse.
Fine.
Let's continue.
Fine,
Hi, guys, how are you?
you can start. We are
Fine.
okay.
How are you?
Okay, today we're, at least for the last week, we've been reading Biko, and today we're just discussing on Biko. I am not going to tell you what Biko said. You are actually the ones who are going to be telling me what Biko said and what you think about it. I'll just be giving you questions and you will answer and just tell me what you think about it. So there are a number of questions actually I've been raising from the text, and we will look into Biko's loopholes, Biko's very good points and that sort of thing. So I'll ask the first question. Do you think Biko is a racist?
Black people can't be racist.
That is actually at the heart of what Biko comes to. But I want you to expand on that. Qualify that statement. Why?
No, I think Biko was in a position where he needed to be responsive. I think because of his views, he needed to be responsive to what was like the current socio-political climate in this country. So in his responses, one would mistake him as a racist if they wouldn't understand the context of how and why he was responding.
Sure.
So I think, yeah, based on that, I think, yeah.
So
that's
you,
his
but
policy.
sure. So you're saying, so what did he mean? If you're saying to me that no, it's just a misunderstanding of Biko, help us understand it.
Yeah, I think to add on that, I think we need to, the statements that people keep reiterating, I would say black people cannot be racist.
What does it mean?
What does it mean? Because now, when you think about the concept of racism, it means segregation or, discrimination from one race to another. It doesn't say white people discriminating against anyone. So if you're saying black people cannot be racist,
Maybe just to add, just to properly respond, I think the how I understand the institution of racism, right? Why I say institution, because I think racism to a large extent relates to how certain groups use it to empower themselves over other people. So in the context of black people and how they've over the years through slavery and colonization have been disenfranchised. What that means is that the premise of being black already puts you in a position where you almost have to, by standing up for yourself, you have to highlight or raise certain things that have ultimately have led to your social political status, which is being disenfranchised. So by responding to that, I don't think it makes you racist.
Yeah. I see you. I get your point. Sure.
Add on to that. I think why racism has existed for as long as it has is because of the economic power behind it. And because as black people we don't have that power, I don't think we can. I think that's just one of the points.
Yeah. Who wants to argue that? Who wants to challenge him on this question? James, I feel like you want to share. Actually, so we're actually going. I didn't get your name, sorry.
Oh, Mandis,
Yeah.
by the way.
Mandisa.
Mandisi.
Mandis.
You know, next time we should do.
Mandis.
Get an next
You know,
Yeah.
I think the concept of racism.
Are you disputing it?
or even headsets.
No, I just want to add,
Yeah.
I want to add a comment actually.
I think so.
The issue of racism is misunderstood actually,
That's fine.
from my point of view.
Sure.
Racism, I would define it as
Sorry, just to come in. Guys, as you comment, you need to think of Deacon and the article. Because I raise these questions, it actually gets into some of them. But anyway, yeah, go ahead.
I would define racism as putting the needs of your people first before any other race. Not this thing of segregating your race from other. Like I don't define it in the context of oppression.
Sure.
You know, it has been misunderstood for a long time. I think.
Sure.
It's intertwined with oppression, and I don't think racism should be there.
Okay.
It's actually a good thing. I think racism.
You think
So
racism is a good
So
thing?
you just said, wait, you want to be clear. You just said racism is a good thing.
Yes, it is a good thing.
And it's about
Putting the needs
of your people ahead.
before any other race.
So if the black person puts the needs of his people, he can be racist, but it's not necessarily bad.
No, he's
Yes,
saying
not.
Okay. Okay, let's get Mandis.
I think, just to weigh in, I agree with the sentiments of my brothers. It's black people can't be racist. Let me make it clear why. The first sentence that comes to my mind after I say that is that you can't claim or own what you were previously victimized, what you were a previous victim of, or what it was, the tool that was used to oppress you. You can't now come back and claim that it's like, okay, I was, for example, if, I don't know, probably a woman gets sexually offended and then they come back and claim that they're sexually offended themselves. It's kind of mind-boggling that you can say that. Like, I agree with my brother that it's an institution.
So I just want to follow your line of thinking here. If a guy is raped and then he goes ahead and rapes someone else, he can't be a rapist.
What I'm saying is you can't claim what you were once a victim of.
Yeah, I'm
So,
using that
so
example.
you're saying, yeah, well,
So I'm
I hear you,
saying-
but I don't agree, right? I don't agree with
you
your
say-
sentiments.
All of us.
All of you.
Okay.
Because you guys are saying that, well, the point is that black people cannot be racially biased towards another race.
Is that what you define racism as?
Yeah. Because I think
Okay.
you guys are changing the meaning of racism.
Let's define racism
It gets
first.
to
Yeah,
that.
I
It
think
gets to that.
yeah.
I think redefining racism is also very important.
Yeah, because what you guys are
Depends
defining
on
here
the-
is
let's
other
define
other
it.
things.
Okay, let's define it.
Yeah,
What is
what is
racism?
racism?
Yes.
Before I come in with a quote from Pico, and I'll explain what I think he means. But anyway,
What do you think racism is?
I think she's correct on that. Racism is the discrimination of another and the inferiorizing of another on the ground of their color.
Yeah.
Okay.
On the ground of their race. That is if you agree that race is color.
Yeah.
But
When we
that's
agree on the
different
concept. If we
questions.
agree on the
Different questions.
concept. Yeah.
But if that is, let me come in with a statement from Pico.
Okay.
And the last line of the chapter actually.
The article.
On the article. He says something like, some will charge that we are racist, but let us not take heed for those people who are exactly of the values we reject. Listen to what he says. We do not have power to subjugate anyone. So Pico is actually arguing the line of thinking you guys are. But I think subtly what he's saying, and this is where I agree with her partly. But you hear what Pico says next. He says, come on. Yeah, but we are merely responding to provocations in the most realistic way. Racism is not, listen to this, racism not only implies exclusion of one race by another, but also always presupposes that the exclusion is for the purpose of subjugation.
Okay.
Repeat that.
Based
Repeat
on,
what-
like, just do it. Say it again.
Say it
So he says
Exclusion
racism
isn't-
does not necessarily mean only the exclusion of the other, ne? But it also means that the exclusion of the other for the purpose of subjugation.
Yeah.
So let me explain it.
Okay,
So
explain.
he's using very a political sense into it. Ne? He says So if you think of apartheid was the exclusion of the other.
Yes.
The black man was excluded
Yes.
from what you call
Disenfranchisement.
Now, not just the exclusion of it, but also the subjugation of the black man. That is also the inferiorizing of the black man, and that made it racist.
Yeah, but also we need to
Okay,
look
so
at the
question,
purpose.
Let me finish.
Okay,
Yes.
finish.
So the purpose of that, also it's tied to it, it's also about the subjection. Now, if you think of it in social terms, it is how I think of Biko's statement actually. He says it's only racist if your differentiation of the other subjugates them or inferiorizes them. Think of it. And it's actually, it's
So that's
actually
the
on
only
point.
way, yeah.
That's the only way it's racist. Think of EPE, for example. Here's a system where we are differentiating each other on the grounds of color.
Yeah.
We're saying, no, this guy is different from me,
Yeah.
and we're going to advance this other one because his color is different from the other.
No.
But it's not necessarily racist.
Okay.
No,
Wait, let me finish my point.
no,
Okay.
your
Let me
example
Let me
is
finish.
faulty.
Wait, let me finish.
Okay, let me finish.
Okay.
It's not necessarily a racist project. Why? Because it's not necessarily for the
Subjugation,
and for
exactly.
the inferiorizing of the other.
Yeah.
So that's what I
In
mean.
fact, it's the
So
exact
you
opposite.
agree,
Exact opposite,
then
actually.
you're agreeing with us.
Yes, so I'm saying
You're not agreeing with
this
me
is what
because
Biko is arguing.
Oh.
What Biko is arguing is that the black man cannot be racist. And at least what he's saying, the BCM, Black Consciousness Movement, cannot be racist because it is the aim of it is not to subjugate
Subjugate.
others.
It's
But
to
it's
have
only
left.
as a means to
Yeah.
respond to whiteness.
Fine.
So what are we saying now here? Because what I'm hearing from you is that you're not fully in agreement with the concept of defining racism as, in fact,
Yes, I'm not in full agreement with you guys.
okay, but
I
it
agree
sounds
with
like you
people.
are. Okay, but
No,
but
no, and that's why I asked
aren't
the
we
question.
aren't we echoing what Biko was saying? Because what
Not
I was
necessarily, no.
because what I'm saying is racism must be understood in context, right?
Yeah.
Because there are different races all over the world, right? So we're merely responding from our context, which is the South African context. And how we understand the South African context with regards to racism is colonization, apartheid, oppression, and so all of these, I guess they are all systematic, and hence I see them as institutional, right? So it means that when the black person is born into the institution or the system, already he is discriminated by birth. So in him merely taking a position of starting to represent himself, he can't be seen as a racist when he's responding to racially constructed systems that are meant to subjugate him.
That I
Right?
agree.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
So what
we can't
actually
be racist
and this is what I
in
want
responding.
I agree with that.
To me, has wanted to make a point.
Still,
No, you
just-
guys can go on. I'm
We can
still
move on.
thinking about
Let's
it.
go and we'll tap into this actually. We'll tap into some of the stuff you're getting into because I think that it is only conditional. The statement we're making that black people can't be racist is conditional to the black people being excluded from power. That's the condition, and that's big hope for you. And but anyway, let's get into.
I want to
it.
ask a question.
Sure.
So,
Think of a black-
how can a black person be racist?
That's the statement by Biko. It says the
How
only
can we
way.
be racist? How
The
can
only reason, so listen to me, the only reason we're not racist and we can't be racist is because we do not have the power to be so. That's the condition. Now the opposite is true. That is, the possibility of being a racist only occurs when you have the power to do so.
So are you saying? So one second. I'm sorry, but now when you look at our current situation right now, there are communities where there are white people that are in positions that are less than black people. So when a black person discriminates against a white person now in today's context, and that's then how do you say this? Uses race to disenfranchise a white person. Is that not racism?
No,
And how do you
still- it's still-
disenfranchise a white person?
You are a
to
black
be
person.
part of the
Listen,
franchise?
listen,
You
but
can't.
this white person now is not at the economic level of you as a white, as a black person, right?
But it's the same.
No, listen. The white person is poor. You as a black person are like making it.
Okay,
And
so
then
I
you
make a
are
distinction.
treating- Yeah,
I see.
you are taking away what basically you're doing the opposite.
Okay,
Is that not racist?
I make a clear distinction between the concept of poverty and being disenfranchised.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's clear.
Because there are different states, there are different there are different conditions, right? Poverty is a lack of wealth. Disenfranchisement is a lack of access, right? So it's like, so not having, yeah, never burning. So what should we do, guys?
Let's move.
Okay,
No,
in the
move 2
camera.
steps up.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll just,
Bringing the camera. Yeah.
okay, move in there.
Yeah, James. Let's have James.
Okay.
Guys, the other thing is that we need to be careful
Let's move.
of going around in circles on the
Yeah,
same
let's
point.
move from.
Yeah.
I think Pico is more than.
Just to make a political power, social power, and economic
Still-
power.
Yeah.
You understand? But now, with the current dispensation, that has sort of shifted. We now have political power.
We have social power.
We have social
We
power.
don't have it.
We don't have the third one, which is economic power, and which is what you need to be a racist society.
Definitely. We don't have that one.
We
So
de-
you don't qualify.
we don't
You
qualify.
satisfy the
To
Be
requirements.
racist in which context? Because we have to understand that context. In which context?
Can
Economically, in which context?
let's move. Can I move from this question?
No.
Because Pico is
Yeah.
a bit more than racism. I asked this question to tap into another of his ideas actually. Black consciousness. Let's talk about what you understand about it.
I think black consciousness is the exercising of black agency. What's that like? So when black people are saying, here I am, I'm a black person, and I am going to use my being, my history, my phenomenology to be an active participant of my of my society.
Sure.
I think that's what black consciousness is.
Sure. James, you that's correct. Black consciousness.
Giving awareness to black people in terms of knowing that, like instilling self-belief in them, making them think that no, I can do what a white person can do. Not necessarily being racist.
Yeah, no, we're not
No, I
there.
hear you, I hear you.
Yes,
Yeah.
But
it's instilling self-belief. Like in my own opinion, that's how I see it. Instilling self-belief. Like, okay, I'm the black person. I'm not inferior to any race.
Sure.
But now, you know what I think?
I feel if I were to define it as well, I'll repeat exactly what you're saying. Instill it in a black person to identify with themselves as being black but not inferior.
Yeah,
You
as
understand?
being black but not inferior.
But not inferior, because in the previous dispensation, when you identify yourself as being black, automatically you are inferior. So you instill a school of thought whereby you show them, yes, you are black, but you are not inferior. That's my
But also, I think
being conscious about the fact that you are
But
Sure. You can go in.
yeah, I think as well it refers to culture as well, where because we are sort of losing ourselves. How do we then rehabilitate ourselves? Yes, and re-educate ourselves through this culture.
So it's more than just color, as you argue.
Exactly.
It's more about
it includes color, it
the
includes
history you
culture.
come from.
Yeah.
history.
But I also think that it does not come from the point of race. So the mistake that people make with black consciousness is to say that it is an attack on on whiteness. I think that's what you started with, or somebody started with that, to say that looking at yourself from and comparing yourself to the white condition, but I don't think that's how it should start. I don't think black consciousness starts from saying this is what is white, and now we are going against what is white by creating this black reality. I think it is saying we are sure of what is black, and this blackness comes from our culture, our heritage, as you were pointing out.
Sure.
not necessarily from a point of attacking whiteness.
Sure.
I resonate.
Yeah.
I resonate.
Sure. So you guys agree with Pico's black consciousness idea? Sorry.
Facilitate.
Tell us what.
Why?
Oh, there's actually a lot. What did you pick up the most? What's the one thing you think hit you the most, struck you the most by piece of paper? Yes.
It's the issue of racism.
No. I think we need to read, and I think this is a mistake we're making. Right? We need to read like people like Biko in context. Biko was writing in 1978 at the helm, of the liberation struggle, where apartheid was the order of the day. When now we read Biko today, we need to be conscious of the fact that although we are not where we want to go, we are not there where he was when he was writing the paper. So there's a lot of things that I saw that were problematic with the paper, right? So I'll go into my notes. Like in the beginning, he talks about this how racial segregation began, how it began as an economic motive. So the reason why white people segregated black people was so that they could gain control the means to the economy, right? And then with them controlling the means they started seeing black people as inferior. Now,
You don't agree with that?
I do.
Okay.
But now, if you look at the context now, we are looking at a situation where we could say, it's not entirely true, but we could say black people are in power. Black people have some form of economic power. And there are black people that have some form of economic power. So there's a divide where there's a number of black people that are in power, and what they are doing is exactly what white people used to do to black people. Now it's like...
Which brings in the argument that our situation is worse off than before.
Let her finish her point.
If not,
Let her finish her point.
Okay, yeah.
Because I think she's moving the discussion from people a bit here. But yeah. Anyway.
Because now, if you're looking at the situation, you're looking at it from a class perspective, right? When now it is the black people that are treating blackness as problematic. Black people are like, no, we need to be more like white people. We need to live in their suburbs. We need to, instead of white people being like that, then
Okay, but can I just question there? So is this power that you speak of? I mean,
it's
I
not
agree.
absolute.
Yeah, okay, that's what I'm trying to get at, because
What power? I'm not following.
The power of black people
that we hold. I don't think it's like absolute.
No, it's
yes,
not.
I think it's in hindsight, I'd say that it's more like it's like segregated. It's like it's not consolidated.
That's why I'm saying it's a class thing.
Yeah.
So Vigo says here that black people, he says, that what white liberals want us to think is that this that we are dealing with as black people is a class struggle and not a race struggle. But right now, I think what we are dealing with is not a race struggle; it's a class
More of a
struggle.
class struggle.
What shall I?
Okay,
No, I don't
I don't fully disagree with you,
Okay.
but I agree with some points.
Yeah.
Yes, I think like our socio-economic position has changed somewhat. The political system hasn't really changed, because even though we are in power politically, it almost feels like what controls like politics is policy, right?
Mm.
And all of that is still like under some kind of constitution that is still controlled by the judicial and so it's like, yes, we are in power, but our power is limited to.
I agree with that. Totally agree.
So if we accept that, then
Then what struggle are we?
should we maybe then
I think
yeah.
just
Exactly.
to add on what you
Sure.
say, other than it being controlled by judiciary, I think we should go back to who voted as well. This constitution of ours
Also,
as well.
I was about
Is it for us, really?
also.
You understand? I think it brings in that question as well.
when you speak about that, also I have to add, it's quite interesting.
I appreciate the aspect yeah culture, like moving the whole conversation instead of like a struggle for race, for racial. Wait, you mentioned a point our struggle is actually more about cultural liberation than racial liberation. That's how I summarize it. Am I incorrect?
Yeah, because
like the
consciousness goes beyond just
it goes beyond. It goes into culture, right? So I think, So what words that I'm actually meditating on. How are we now? How are we doing in reinterpreting or recontextualizing Biko into like our existing powers? Because we still have existing power, like our indigenous knowledge systems. Yes, they're not being acknowledged, but we still have them in some of our communities. Can't we recontextualize them with that?
What do you think? I disagree with you guys a bit, but anyway, let's let him come through.
But now to recontextualize that, now it's going to need us to go back to now. Where did this start? Contextualization, where did it start? How do you break down that? Because I think to recontextualize something, you have to go back to where it started. You know, to undo something, we must go back to where it was done in the first place and try to unbundle it and see, okay, these are the missing parts, this and that. So I think I resonate with him very well to say that whose constitution is it anyway? Is it really ours? When you think of section 180, I'm not sure, but where it says our African laws can be applied but subjected to the constitution. See now, already there, that's a problem.
Is that how it's written?
Yeah, I wish I knew my constitution off the head. But I wish section 1.
I think we're moving a bit.
Okay, we're diverging now.
Yeah.
But I think I just wanted to add to that.
Yeah, let's come back to Biko. Sure. I'll say why I disagree because Biko argues, if you read so in the first part you're correct. He argues that there is the problem of race begins as an economic problem. So first is white people who want to exploit black labor.
Yes.
Okay. Then from there they end up believing it that black people are actually this is a very Marxist interpretation of race. But let's leave that. But then he moves on Biko and he says no. And then from there he talks about the institutionalization of race. So this is the creation of racial structures like states and that sort of thing. Yeah. So then it gets to the question of white liberals.
Yes.
White liberals.
There's something I love that you wrote about white liberals.
This is look, the problem with white liberals, they think that so he actually uses a model here. It is what we call dialecticalism. But it's actually Hegel's idea that there's a thesis, then there's as it is. And then from institutional apartheid, white liberals come and say, no, the problem is not anti-racialism or non-racialism is the way to respond. And then it says their synthesis is a bit weird to look on. That's because point. And it says the black consciousness doesn't agree with this. It says the problem about apartheid and about white liberals, the issue is not so much about the structure of apartheid. That's not the issue. The issue, actually, the structure of apartheid is a secondary thing that comes because of another fundamental problem. The problem is white dominance. That's the issue at the heart of this problem. He says, this is the thesis. The thesis is white dominance. How do we respond to white dominance? We construct black consciousness, where the black man rises, and as he rises, he fights against white supremacy. And then after fighting